Hey, what's up, people? Anmol here from Newin, and today we are taking a look at the first Windows Insider build for Windows 11. In case you didn't know, last week Microsoft finally announced Windows 11, and keeping up with their schedule of releasing insider builds after the major launch, they have released the first build, so we can take a look at what Windows 11 brings to the table. So the first thing that Microsoft announced with Windows 11, and which is the most obvious thing over here, is the visual design. So Microsoft has completely overhauled the design, and as you can see, the taskbar is no longer fixed to the left side of the screen. It can be moved into the middle. Of course, you can set it back to the left side, but Microsoft says in setting it in the middle is good for two-in-ones and tablets which rely on touch input. So that's like the major design that you will see once you're greeted into Windows 11. And of course, one thing that is missing for now is the ability to move taskbar. So you can't move it, say, for the top of the screen or to the sides, be it left or right hand side. So it's fixed at the bottom, but you can send it, like, fix it to the left hand side if you choose to do so. For now, by default, it will be set into the middle, and once you click on the start menu, you'll get a new start menu which is completely different from what we had with Windows 10. Here you have the pinned icons for the apps that you have pinned, and this is not like the recent menu that Windows 10 had. You can basically pin the apps like you did with live tiles. Unfortunately, live tiles are gone, so we don't have live tiles on Windows 10. Instead, sorry, Windows 11, my bad. So instead, we do have these pin tiles wherein you could just unpin or pin an app. So you can just select unpin from the start menu, so that app will be gone from the start menu. And of course, you can click on all apps to see all the installed applications, and you can right click on one of them and pin them back to the start menu, in which case it will show up at the end here. And of course, Microsoft is also saying that with Windows 11, if you are using Office 365, all your Office 365 documents will be syncing and will be presented here, as you can see. And you can click on either one of those documents and launch them. Apart from that, of course, you will get some recently added apps. The apps that you recently installed will show up here, and you can click on more to get the full list of apps as well as documents that you might need, or you might want to access now or in the future. Moving on, you have the same design that you had in Windows 10, wherein you can change account settings, locks, or sign out from your system, as well as this power menu wherein you could sleep, shut down, or restart your PC. Moving forward to the side, Microsoft has completely overhauled the Action Center. So now, if you click here, you'll get this very Chrome OS styled tray, which will show you the notifications as well as the calendar. Right now, unfortunately, there is no option to see your recent events or any other scheduled events that you might have. This was one utility that was added in Windows 10, and frankly, it was really helpful for people who needed to keep a track of appointments without opening calendar app. So unfortunately, that is gone for now. I am not sure if Microsoft plans to bring it in the future, but I do hope they bring it back, like they added it to Windows 10. And apart from that, you have this notification tray where you can get your system notification and you can dismiss them by swiping to the right. And you can obviously interact with them, so you have all these options of turning off notification or going into the settings or setting up a focus assist. Moving forward, Microsoft also changed some of the quick menu, so you don't get in the Action Center. Now you have a separate menu for quick launch icons, or quick settings as you might call them. Here you can change your Wi-Fi settings, Bluetooth, airplane mode, battery saver, and focus assistant, as well as some accessibility settings. Herein you could set magnifier, color filters, or sticky keys, and so on. Moving back, you have this volume settings wherein you could click and select your speaker or your Bluetooth speaker or any other audio device that you might have connected to your system. Moving on, you do have brightness settings as well, so you can swipe the slider up and down to change the brightness, as well as you can change the volume from here. And with that, you might have noticed that the some of the different sounds have changed in Windows 11. This has been a system-wide change that has happened along with the UI. And apart from that, you can click on this pencil icon to change the settings, or if you want to unpin one of the icons, you can do so, or you can add more icons from here. Once you're done, you can click this done button, and that will save your settings. Moreover, you do have this battery icon as at the side as well, so you can see the current battery status if you are using a laptop, as well as a settings icon. We'll go into settings just in a bit. Let's talk about the start menu as well as taskbar in more detail before we end up moving to the settings, which is also redesigned from Windows 10. Uh, Clicking on the start menu, we already went through it. One thing that Microsoft did remove from here is when you right click here, you won't get the usual dialog box that you used to get on Windows 10. Unfortunately, that is gone, so you just get taskbar settings. For now, we'll leave those here, but if you want to use something like Task Manager, you need to right click on your start menu. Unfortunately, this is the only place wherein you have to click if you want to open Task Manager, or you want to access any of the settings that might show up in the taskbar in Windows 10. So that has moved. Microsoft also changed the way Windows search works. So Cortana is still installed on Windows 11. It's just that it won't nag you when you are setting up your device or when you are searching on Windows. Unfortunately, they do have the same old Bing search. So if for example you type Facebook here, it will take you to the web and access Bing for that. This was sort of controversial change in Windows 10, and I feel like this has been one thing that Microsoft should have dished with Windows 11, and they should have gone with just a basic local search wherein you could type the query and get the local matches to whatever documents you have, or video files, or any other apps that you might have installed. Moving forward, Microsoft has also changed the way virtual desktops work. So you have the virtual desktop here. You can add again. You can go on adding as many desktop as you might like, and you can also rearrange them. So you can set this as desktop 1 or this as desktop 2, whatever suits your needs. You can do that. You can also right click and rename them, so you could maybe have one desktop for your work and one desktop for your entertainment and so on. Other and so we are talking about the widgets here. This is another thing that's coming back from Windows 7. Unfortunately, not in the way that Windows 7 had, but in this screen you could go through your weather, your any of the stocks, or any indexes that you might follow, photos, as well as your scores or any of the sports that you might follow. This is also followed by top stories that you might like. This is also curated by AI, as Microsoft says. I'm not sure how well it works, but apparently Microsoft will understand what your interests are and show you the news feed accordingly. So that's the widget tray, and let's move back to the other desktop. So let's now look at settings, which because that has been overhauled as well. So let me just click here and go into the settings tab, and as you can see, this is a major change from Windows 10. And you no longer have tile like settings, and instead you have all the setting options on the left hand side, followed by whatever settings you might have selected from this option. So you could go to system and then select display, sound, notification, and so on. All these settings are still the same as Windows 10. It's just the UI that has changed. So moving on to Bluetooth and devices, you can again set your Bluetooth, you can set your touchpad, you have your phone access as well. Moving forward, you have network and entertainment, As again, this is the same options as Windows 10. It just has been overhauled in a way so it's better and more intuitive to look at, and it presents more information when the user goes through it. Let's move to personalization now, because that has been changed a bit. Microsoft is bundling a couple of themes with Windows 11, so you can just click on one of these themes and it will change accordingly. So as you can see, this is a light mode theme that has been applied. So let's move back to the themes that we were talking about. So you have light theme, you have dark theme, you have also colored theme. So when you click on the colored, this will change the color of your complete system. So you can see it has sort of like a purple tint to it. So let's move forward to the next big thing that has been changed, which is the touch keyboard. If you click here, you can now set themes to your touch keyboard, and as well as you can decide if there needs to be a background to the keys or not, or you want background just to the side of the keys, or on the borders. That can be changed. You can set the key text side, as well as you can click and open the keyboard to see your changes in real time. So let me just go ahead and show you one of these options. Let's select this and click on open keyboard. As you can see, you have a new theme in the background, and if you turn off the key background, you can see you no longer have the borders that surrounds the keys. You can turn it on and off according to your wish, as well as you can select the size of the keys, sorry, and you can change between small, medium, and large. So that is one of the big change that has been added in terms of the design. And of course you can always change the keyboard size, so you can have like a big keyboard if you want, or you can reduce the size if you want like a small keyboard. This again is more for touchscreen users, so you can decide how you want your keyboard to show up. You can also undock your keyboard. If you click here, it will undock, and now you can move your keyboard around. And speaking of keyboard, we now have an option here wherein you can click and get the emojis. Let me just dock it back so we can see it better. Just increasing the size of it. So if you click here, you can go ahead through emojis, gifs. You have some old school ASCII emojis, as well as your Windows clipboard. So you can go through them as per your needs, in case you need them. uh, so let's move forward from here. Let's move towards the snapping experience. So this is one thing that Microsoft focused a lot during their keynote, and this has been good when compared to Windows 10, but unfortunately it's a big buggy right now. So I haven't been able to use it to the fullest extent. But if you go here and hover to the maximize option, you now have four layouts that you can select from. These are predefined layouts, so you can click and then select another app that you might want to snap to. So for example, Windows Store, which is again redesigned. We'll go into this in a bit, but for now you can see the snap works well, and you can obviously select the size that you want, and you can reduce or increase the size as per your liking. One more thing that Microsoft introduced with Windows 11 is the new snap group. So if you hover down here, you can see this group written. So this group will control the whole group, which is all the two of these apps. So let's say for example, if you move back to Microsoft Edge and you want to get the group back, so now you don't have to snap them again. You can just click here and it will get the group back. Of course, if you want, you can get one of those apps as well. You can click here and it will get you the one app instead of both. So you can just click here and get the groups. If you want, you can select and get one app. This is something that is completely on the user, and they can control however they want to. And this is a very good addition for people who might be working with a couple of apps at the same time, and they want to switch around quite frequently. So moving forward, let's look at the new store. So this is the Microsoft Store preview. Again, this is still in beta, it's very early stage rollout, and this store has been giving me some problems, unfortunately. But for the most part, it looks modern. It looks a lot different from the store that we had with Windows 10. And if you scroll down, you can see now you have access to movies, you have access to games, apps, everything from the store. One thing you do need to note here is that Microsoft didn't release Android support in this build, so we can't take a look at the Amazon store, which was announced at the Microsoft's event. Microsoft said that they are partnering up with Amazon to bring Android apps on Windows 11, but unfortunately that has not been released with this build. So for now, we have to just settle with Windows apps, and we can't look at the Android ecosystem that Amazon brings to the table. But if you scroll down to the store, you now have all these essential apps, featured apps, as well as top trending. Of course, these options are same as Windows 10. It's just the UI that has changed. Moving on, you now have buttons on the side. You can just select apps, games, entertainment. Moving on to the library section, this also been revamped, and it looks a lot better than the Windows 10's library. And of course, unfortunately, this is not working at the moment. But if you would have options here wherein you could click apps, games, and movies and filter it down accordingly. So for example, if you're looking for a particular app, you can maybe click on apps and just go through the list of apps and not have apps, games, and movies mixed together. So that will improve the experience further, and this should be ready to go in a couple of builds, I would assume. Unfortunately, for now it's not working for me, so I can't really show you. uh, Moving on, you have the search at the top as usual. You can just click here and search something like, say, Facebook, and click enter, and it will show you the apps that are related to your search term. So like for example, Facebook. And when you click here, this is again a change UI. This is a completely different interface from what we are used to with Windows 10. And you can see, if you scroll down, you have all these information according to what the app developer has provided. And you do have all the ratings and reviews as well, so you can take a look at the ratings. Of course, Microsoft has added system requirements as well as additional information that is carried forward from Windows 10. It's just the UI that has changed. It looks much more modern, much better than what we are used to with Windows 10. And on the left hand side, you will have the app details, and if you click on this free icon, it will install the app. So if you click here, it will just go through the store and pull the app for you. So it will start downloading and install it for you. So this is the major change with Windows 11 store wise. And of course, uh, if you go here, I'll show you the new animation as well. So Microsoft has included new animation if you are trying to minimize, maximize, or snap the window. So let's say, for example, if you're maximizing, you can now see a new animation kind which was not there in Windows 10. This is there. And same is for when you are trying to minimize. If you see, this is a new animation that Microsoft has added. And the same goes for when you are trying to snap the screen. So if you snap it, let's say here, it will just go here and you'll get the layout as usual, and you can just select and start snapping the apps as you like. Let's talk about the file explorer. Microsoft has also made changes to the file explorer. As you can see, it's now a better version of what it was in Windows 10. You do have all these options here like you did with Windows 10. It's just the UI that has changed again. If you click here, you can see you have all the drives, new icons which debuted last year. You can also go into downloads, documents. All of these are same as it was with Windows 10. It's just the UI that has changed again. You do have options which will bring you back to the folder option. Unfortunately, I couldn't find the ribbon option which used to be there with Windows 10. It might be available in Windows 11. It's just that it's not available at the moment. So we are stuck with some limited option. And this layout has been optimized for touch. So now you have direct options to cut, copy, paste, and rename and things like that. So these options are basically made available right there. So for a user to for a user with a touch friendly display to get access to, so you now don't have to press and hold and wait for the menu to come up and then interact with it, whatever you want, whatever you're planning to do. So if I click here, I can just go here and cut, copy, or rename, or whatever I would like to do, I can do directly from here, which is a good welcome change for both PC as well as touch friendly users, in a sense that you now no longer have to right click and then go through the context menu to to make certain changes to, let's say, your folder, or move your folder around. Moving forward, Microsoft also changed the context menu. So if you right click on the context menu, you'll see that you have a new UI which is much more modern, and it's good that Microsoft has finally decided to work on context menu, because these options were entirely different when you move from apps to apps, and it was not an uniform experience. So I'm glad that Microsoft is finally taking this seriously and is working on the menu so it's more uniform across the operating system. Speaking of that, the menu on the desktop has also changed. So if you right click, you now have a more modern menu. Of course, you can click on show more option and get the older menu back, but I think this will be removed later down the line once Microsoft has moved all the options to the new menu. That pretty much wraps up our first look at the first build of Windows 11. We'll be publishing more articles around Windows 11 as and when we have more information available around the new operating system from Microsoft. But for now, stay tuned to Newvin, and we'll see you around. Thank you so much for watching.